Hello, this is Mr. Regner, and this is a special recording of our Focus Week 35 Day 1 activity. So let's get right to it, starting with number 1. Number 1 says the cost of a bowling party for 12 friends was $133. After using a coupon for $25 off the cost of the party, the 12 friends shared the remaining cost equally. Let F represent the amount of money in dollars that each friend paid. Which equation can be used to correctly determine the value of F? Well, let's take a look at it. This is kind of a thinker for us, so we want to make sure that we put our thinking hats on here. First, we know the total cost here is $133, and you'll notice that all of these equations equal $133. So we're in good shape there. So far, they're all in the running. We can't eliminate any of them. We know that there's 12 friends at this party. Oops, I kind of wanted to switch my colors there. 12 friends at this party, and so we have a 12 in each of our equations. But you'll notice sometimes we're dividing by 12, sometimes we're multiplying by 12. So that's one we're going to think about in just a moment here. And lastly, we have $25 off the cost. So if you look, we have $25 off the cost in each one of our equations. So we have to think about this now for a moment. Some of these we can eliminate just because we know some information. For example, let me focus on this idea of $25 off the cost of the party. Okay, if we're getting that coupon, we're taking money away from the total cost. Okay, would we be adding 25 or subtracting 25? Hopefully, wait, I think I can hear you. Yes, you're all thinking to yourselves, we would subtract 25. That means I can eliminate the answers that we are adding 25. We don't want to add 25. Okay, with that being said, we can now consider B and D as our answer choices. And in B, we're taking 12 times the cost each friend paid minus 25 to equal 133. And letter D, we're taking the cost each friend paid. That's tough to say. Each friend paid, dividing that by 12, and then subtracting 25. Think about this just for a moment. Let's pretend like each friend was paying $10. We're just making up some random numbers. If there's 12 friends and each friend pays $10, then they're going to pay $120 together, right? You're taking the $10 and multiplying it by 12. Would it make sense to take the $10 and divide it by 12? Hopefully, no. We can eliminate D, and our answer here is B. We're going to multiply the number of friends times the price that each friend paid. We're going to subtract $25, and then we're going to get our total cost of $133. Let's move on now to number 2. It says one whole number is missing from the data set in the box below. We need to look at this data set carefully and understand the median of the data set is 24. We want to figure out the greatest possible value of the missing whole number. So I'm going to start off actually by putting these numbers in order, right? So I have 18, I have 22, I'm going to cross them off as I go. I have 24, and then 25, 26, and 30. Now it tells me that there's an extra number in here. I'm going to just put that here at the end as a blank space. So it says the median is 24. So looking at this for just a moment, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers in my data set. My median number has to be 24. So knowing that that has to be 24, this blank space that I put here at the end actually should go, whoops, I guess I can't do that. I guess I should probably just erase that blank space and then rewrite it on the other side. Okay, it has to go over here, because that would mean then if I were to look at my lower set, I have 3 numbers on the right side of the median, and then I would have 3 numbers on the left side of the median. The median has to be in the middle. All right, so in looking at these 3 numbers, I want to figure out the greatest possible value for that missing number. So looking at this, I have, numbers 18 and 22. What's the largest number that could go here in order, numerical order, before 18. If you're thinking that it's 17, you're right, 17 would work, but that's not actually the greatest possible value because we could actually put 18 here. So the highest number would have to be 18. We could put 18 in front of 18 because in numerical order, you just put numbers that are the same next to each other. So my answer here is just 18. There's no label for this, it's just 18. But I did a little bit of work to figure that out. All right, let's take a look at now at number 3. Number 3 says a triangle's height is 75% of its base. What is the area of the triangle? Well, here it tells me my base is 18. So I have to figure out what 75% of 18 is. And I can do that by doing some math. So I'm going to take 75% turns into 0.75 as a decimal. And then I'm going to multiply that by 18. 75% of 18 means multiply. So I have 5 times 8, that gives me 40. And then I have 8 times 7, that's 56, plus 2, that gives me 60. Add my placeholder 0. Now I have 1 times 5, that's 5. 1 times 7, that's 7. I'll add these numbers all up. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 5 is 5. And 7 plus 6 is 13. Now I have to worry about my decimals here and keep in mind that I moved this decimal 2 spaces. There's no moves there. So I have to move the decimal 2 spaces in my final answer. So that means my height then is 13 and a half, or 13 and 5/10 units, whatever it might be. Now, I've just done a whole bunch of work, but I actually am just getting started. So all I've done is I've solved for h. Now I can use my area formula to plug in that value. So I know that area for a triangle equals 1/2 times base times height. Luckily for me, I know the base and the height now, so I'm going to plug those numbers in. Area equals 1/2 times 18 times 13.5. So now I have area equals, and again, we can add these up, or multiply them in any order that we choose. I'm going to do 1/2 times 18 first because I think that's easiest. That would just be 9. So I have 9 times 13 and a half. So here's where, without a calculator, I might be best suited by doing this off to the side. So I'm going to take 13.5 and multiply that by 9. Notice I don't worry about decimals right now. 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 3 is 27. 28, 29, 30, 31. 9 times 1 is 9. Plus 3 is 12. Now I think about my decimal movements here, and I moved it 1 place there, 0 places here, so I move it 1 place over in my answer. So my final area then would be 121 and a half, or 5/10 units. That says units, by the way. Units squared. Make sure we have a label on here, units squared, because that's really important to have the correct label on our area. So again, kind of 2 parts for this one. We have to find the height first, then find the area. All right, moving right along, let's take a look at our next one, number 4. It says, at a restaurant, you can purchase a 16 fluid ounce smoothie for $4.35, or a 10.5 fluid ounce smoothie for $3.60. We need to look at all of our options down here and pick the ones that are correct. So I'm noticing here they're looking for the better buy between the two. They're looking for the to the nearest cents, or the cost per ounce, or the unit rate. And so that's what I want to do. I want to find the unit rate. So I'm going to do that right now by taking both of these numbers. I have $4.35 for 16 ounces. If I just take $4.35 and divide it by the number of ounces, that'll tell me how much I'm paying for 1 ounce, or the unit rate. Okay? And if I look over here, I have $3.60 for a 10.5 ounce fluid ounce smoothie. I can take $3.60 and divide that by 10.5, or 10 5/10. So I'm going to start off here with my division over here, the 16 going into $4.35. I don't have to move any decimals around here because there's no decimals in my divisor. So I want to think, how many times does 16 go into 16 into 43? If I can talk correctly, that always helps. So I want to think about this, and maybe I can do guess and check. If I think about it, 16 times 2 is 32. 16 times 3 is, I think about 48. All right, so if I go 3, that's too much. So I want to go just 2. Now I'll move my decimal up to the top here. Should have done that first. 2 times 16 is 32. I think I'm going to have to scroll down here in just a moment. There we go. All right, so now I subtract. 3 minus 2 equals 1. 4 minus 3 equals 1. Bring down my 5. And I want to think about how many times 16 goes into 115. And this, again, is maybe a time where we just guess and check. You might have some random guesses, and you might have some good guesses. I'm going to guess for a moment. Maybe it's 5. All right, so let me do some guessing and checking over here. I'm going to say 16 times 5. Well, 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 80. I'm not quite at 115 yet. I need to go higher. Let me go ahead with another guess, and I'll say 7, just because I feel like that might help me out. By the way, you could also just add 16 to 80 a couple of times and try to figure out where you're at from there. So I have 7 times 6, that's 42. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 plus 4 is 11. That's 112. I don't think I can get any closer than that. So I'm going to go with that as my answer, and that's 7. 7 times 16, I already know, is 112. Now I'm going to subtract, and I'll get 3. All right, now I could keep on going, and again, I want to figure this out to the nearest cent. So if I look here, I have 16 going into 30. That's going to go in 1 time. That's going to be 16. I could subtract from there. Oops. Something flashed on the screen there. So I have 30 minus 16. That's going to leave me with 14. And it would go on and on and on from there. But if I'm rounding to the nearest cent, this 1 tells the 7 to stay where it's at. So I basically know that the 16 fluid out smoothie is going to cost me 27 cents per ounce. Okay, so I'm recording that kind of up at the top. Now I can move on with my other division problem. In this one, I have 10.5 going into $3.60. I need to move this decimal over. Remember the story of Dot? It's like raining. She wants to get over here and hide next to the wall here, next to that division sign. The copycat moves as well. Moves the same number of spaces, and then that decimal floats up to the top. So now I'm going to figure this out. All right, so I'm interrupted by the bell here. So we move our decimals over 1 space. The copycat moves over, and it lifts up to the top. Now I want to figure out how many times 105 goes into 360. So I'm just thinking this through. If it's 3 times, then that's going to be 315. So I know it's got to be 3. So that'll be 315. And then subtract. So I have 0 minus 5. I can't do that. I have to far off from this. That becomes 5. And this becomes a 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 5 minus 1 is 4. 3 minus 3 is 0. So now I have 105 going into 450 when I add my 0 and bring it down. I'm going to move my screen down just a little bit. So 105 going to 450, it's got to be 4 times. 4 times 5 is 20, and then 4 times 10 is 400, and so that's 420. So that's some kind of quick mental math that some of you will, I'm sure, be able to do. If not, you can always do this off to the side. Okay, 0 minus 0 is 0, and 5 minus 2 is 3. 4 minus 4 is 0. So I get 30. I'll add my 0. I'll bring it down. I have 300. 105 goes into 300. You might think 3 times, but remember 3 times 105 is 315, so it's only going to be 2 times. Now this is the point here where I could continue on going, and this would be 210, and I could subtract, but I actually can stop right there, because this 2 tells the 4 to stay right where it's at. This price, the unit price, is 34 cents. I'm going to go ahead and record that up top here and say the 10.5 fluid ounce one was 34 cents per ounce. Okay, so now I can actually get to the question. So letter A says the 16 fluid ounce smoothie is the better buy. Well, let's see, 16 ounce was 27 cents per ounce, and the 10.5 ounce was 34 cents per ounce. Yeah, I'd say definitely you're saving some money with the 16 ounce. 10.5 ounce one is not the better buy. It's more expensive per ounce. Letter C says to the nearest cent, the 16 ounce smoothie is 27 cents an ounce. Hey, that's what I found too. So yeah, that's right. Letter D, to the nearest cent, the 16 ounce smoothie is 28 cents an ounce. Well, no, I got 27 cents. Specifically, it'd be 27.1 cents. So it can't be letter D. I'm not going to round that up. And then letter E, both smoothies are priced the same per ounce and neither one's a better deal. Well, that's not true for sure because we have 2 separate prices here. So my final answers here are A and C. So that takes care of focus for day 1, week 35. Please make sure you keep these notes handy and it'll help you on day 2, day 3, and your final day for your quiz. This is Mr. Regner and have a great day.